That's weird. Never realized that. The typical weather readout, you can actually click the days. I've been using that for 10 years, something like that, 8 years, and I never realized that that was a thing you could do. Huh. Right, anyway, hope everybody's having a great day today on this Tuesday. I would have kind of preferred to sleep a little bit longer, but it wasn't meant to be, unfortunately. Right, but I'm still working. I'm not going to bed too late. And with working on, I mean prevent it from getting even worse. And just trying to gradually, like, no, back. Right. Another irritating thing is that my CMOS supplement shipment has been delayed. So I'm gonna be out for like 1 or 2 days. That's, well, I mean, it's not a disaster, but it doesn't make me happy or anything. Can't believe this still happens. Like, I was actually right in lockstep with being on time with the dosages, and then frickin' shipment delay. It's like, what the fuck, man? Like, at some point, I'm gonna be able to just order them and be completely on time every time. I really hope so, because it's very irritating when there's like a gap. I mean, it's not a big burden, but it's just irritating. I guess it plays on my wanting everything to be perfectly organized part, neurotic part, right? Yeah. Other than that, everything is alright. Yeah, yesterday's show, different. Addressing world events and media propaganda and government control. I mean, it's not pleasant. It's very unpleasant. And for me, it's always like, okay, if I'm gonna address that, how do I ensure that I don't get really pissed off? Because that is kind of what it does to me at times, not always. At other times I'm just like, ugh, whatever. And other times, like, I can get pretty pissed off about it. But I mean, it is still useful for me to like take note of these things, because I'm actually trying to reverse engineer some of the minds that are actually trying to tackle it, so that I can figure out how they're doing it and just get a better understanding of the overall situation and the balance of it, or if it is actually completely imbalanced or not. Because just like all this judicial stuff and micromanaging and bureaucracy shit and policies introduced with police, all that stuff, it makes everything just harder to grasp. And I mean, making it harder to grasp is literally a tactic for government, especially communist oriented, to ensure that the citizenry just lays off because it's too heavy to handle. So it is part of the trick. It's really difficult for me to get a good grasp on how things work in the Netherlands, especially with the people and what they're doing with it, and how they might be failing, how they might be spiraling into demoralization or being eager to give up because it's such a weight, right? When there is a lot of potential out there, a lot of capability, and I'm pretty damn sure that there is the possibility to actually work out of this. But I mean, at the core of that is self-reliance, though. And not just financially, because that's, or spiritually. Like, you gotta have a form of self-reliance in some way, and then you can like supplement the other parts of the group that have self-reliance in another way, right? Because nobody is self-reliant with everything. That's just impossible, right? But you could specialize, and then it's like a free market of self-reliance. Oh, that's actually kind of cool for in the title. It's very big bear oriented type of title. It's just a good title. As a concept. I mean, I'm not saying like this is happening, but I mean, it should. People should realize this. Like a free market, supply and demand, but not just of things you can buy and that people might think they need and that's why they need to buy it, but also just of ability, specific and focus. Specialism, a free market of specialism. Like, you need, for certain things, if you want to have a grip on it, you need to choose your specialists that you can rely on to basically assimilate your understanding about that subject. And it's difficult, because especially if you don't, because there's all like kind of different approaches, and like to people like really in the know, those people that do that, like they just seem like propagandists. They're like trying to reach a certain type of people, a certain mindset, and then get them to do a certain thing. While that is in the bigger picture maybe not that effective, and like if you're really in the know because you're a specialist, then you just know like this is kind of nonsense. Seems like they're just hurting people. Not hurting, but hurting them like cattle. Right, so everybody, yeah, free market of ideas, you could call it too, but it's also self-reliance and specialism. I should add the specialism to it. Right, and from this vantage point, I too am trying to corner my niche little corner of the market, because it's like it's a one type of thing that I can do really well, like connecting spiritual matters to physical matter and just see it all as structures, and like very consistently lay them down as to be more recognizable as structures that can be compared. And so I'm in the spiritual mental region. That's where I'm very self-reliant and specialist. Right? In the financial department, not. I am not. I mean, I strive to improve a little, at least. But I mean, like that's never gonna be like my prime focus. While there are people out there that are like financial wizards and they know it's like I can sense about them what it is like to be from that vantage point, how you see the world and all that, feeling wise through spiritual metadata, because I have that ability to analyze that. And that's why I know like it is a special bird. Like you hold certain keys that give you power, but if you share that with absolutely everybody unconditionally, then the power will actually wane from it. It will just get absorbed in the whole and then lose its edge. And that's like an unfortunate thing about being financially specialized, is that you always have to, you end up keeping secrets about your specialism to retain the edge. You can't really blame from it, but it's an inherent influence. Damn it! It's an inherent influence on it. Just, I know that. This is all logic. Like you could like connect this way up back to religion, like sins and like if you're really rich you can't get into heaven. Like why? Well, because of what you're basically forced to do and how you're supposed to deal with the world. Like it just forces you to make certain choices that actually get you away from heaven. Right? It's not like, oh, we just hate rich people, they're gonna go to hell, ha ha ha. No, it's like, no, it's actually the logical consequences. It's an unfortunate side effect. It's actually in a way kind of bad, because if just having all that wouldn't corrupt people so typically, the world will be a much better place, because less corruption with people in power and influence and money would basically create more good kings, or that effect in that direction, which is like very useful for the masses and for societies. But the corruptibility like has only become worse over the ages. More power available becomes more corruption ability, and so people corrupt quicker. And that has a negative impact. That means that actually gathering wealth doesn't then automatically yield in the improvement of the whole. So wealth itself, in a very technologically developed society, unfortunately becomes more parasitical than symbiotic in its influence. There you go. Right. So that's an interesting insight. It's like in a way, and I mean, I don't like it. Like there's always a room for free market. But when free market with the money plays specifically, the more technologically developed a society becomes, the more detrimental the financial aspect of the free market becomes, the more a tendency of robber baronism, because of like, yeah, it's just more corruptible with the technology and what you automatically need to do with money. Like the less developed, it's actually easier to have a lot of riches and then just use it for good, because everybody knows you have a lot of riches, but you're not gonna like, oh, look at all this stuff that I could use to mind control everybody and weaponize everything, right? So in a way, this is like, I'm gonna regret almost saying this, like the communist aspect financially, societally, may actually be necessary to avail that just pure free market where robber barons can go nuts. And that it is more like appointed to individuals, you could say, by the state. Like, you're actually, like, people get tested on like what they will do with power. Like, they have to be tested for if they can handle it, right? And not just grow into it naturally through the free market and then end up, oh shit, he can't handle it, oh my god, we got another Soros or something, right? Because that shit could just happen, and could happen again and again, and in worse ways even, right? And to avoid that, government, in my opinion, should get like way, and through government also means the people, should get way more influence on, let's say, mega corporations. Right? Corporations and all that should adapt to the will of the people and society. I mean, that's even the logical course of advertisement, right? You want somebody to like your product, so you're gonna make an ad that appeals to a lot of people. Hopefully with a positive message, and they have a positive association with the product, and then, yeah, everybody wins. They buy it, they feel better. Right? But because of power corruption and conspiracies with the rich, instead of doing that, instead of serving the people, they're like, no, we're gonna use all this money to do hostile programming, to deprogram people out of normal human behavior. And that must be avoided. Right? If you have a pure free market, then literally somebody like a Marxist overlord could just like, oh, thanks, I'm just gonna like roll out my shit here, create a bunch of cults that literally will attack people and shit, and like, what are you gonna do? Like, it's legal. See? Problem. Right, of course there's regulations and rules, but just government should get way more involved. Like, a big task for government will always be, and will become ever more, is how to frickin' deal with the mega corporations. That are tough to deal with, but it has to be done, because if you don't, those mega corporations will literally take you over. They will control you. So they have to be strictly regulated. And potentially broken up through monopoly laws if they're like not cooperating. Right? But it has to then be enforced. Anyway, so that is kind of like the middle road, the monopoly laws and all that, where it's still basic free market society, but the government has to take responsibility. But I mean, if you do that through free market system, then government will actually have to grow to basically become capable of dealing better with mega corporations instead of just attempting it and failing every time. Small government's gonna have a lot of trouble dealing with mega corporations, right? Unless everybody's brave enough to just choose, okay, we don't use any mega corporations in our country, which is like troublesome, because then everything has to be like imported from across the border of those corporations, and like people have to figure out a different way to do it and then like produce it themselves, which is actually great, but a lot of people will object because it's like, but we don't want to do this more primitive work. Like, yeah, that's actually what you have to do if you want to be self-reliant nationally. National self-reliance requires you to actually produce what you need. This is, by the way, where farmers like always crush, because they're already always just producing what they need, pretty much. So in a self-reliant society, it's always great to look at farmers and how they do things and then lend from their way of doing things in order to transition away from being a globalist society with mega corporations influencing everything to a more self-reliant society where things are more scarce, but you're working on it, and then eventually you'll have your own national products that are not
Hello, Arwen.
propagandized
I know you have
by
money now,
mega
so where is your
corporations
order
and
for the next
secret
seaweed
backdoor
pills?
shit and all that. And you can culturally address their influence more in the open, where people can actually speak out like, yeah, they suck. We're very glad that they're not here now, even though it's a little bit more difficult with some things, and there's always something to complain about, right? Especially with the Dutch. We're really good at that. Right? But I think we do have to like kind of do that. If you really want to be a nation, a self-reliant nation, not on the individual level, but on the national level, you have to realize that that means living with less variety, like more local. And it's the more difficult to live more local. You can do it, but it won't feel like modern society as much, right? And if you do it that way and then eventually like always just get imported stuff, you have other risks, like building up debt against those nations where you import it from, and like that way then still an issue happens, not direct through mega corporation influence, but through banking debt. So yeah, is the only way to really get through it is to just have all the people collectively understand, like, yeah, we have to take this burden. It's like and I mean, it might be good to actually realize like that is a thing of trade war. Like there's actually a war aspect. You have to take a burden, but take it with honor and not just everything is all shit. But actually, like, no, there is actually a war going. I mean, things are not blowing up maybe directly around you, but I mean, there is a war going. It's a mind war. It's a social engineering war. It's a financial war and a trade war, and it just keeps going and going. And it's burdensome. But I mean, through the luxury of society and all the products and everything that's available for everybody, even the internet, people forget that the more luxuries you get, easy access, you start to normalize that and think of that as being a default, and that losing those things means you're less. Well, in reality, you could choose to undo a lot of these types of habits, things that you consume, like drugs, alcohol, big one. Like you could actually drop all of that and then have more, actually have more. But while you haven't dropped that, you'll think that it'll be less, right? You have to just take that challenge.
Arwen,
but it's a
your
really
favourite man on
difficult
earth,
challenge,
is asking you
and
a question.
it's becoming
Please
more
reply.
difficult.
You need to buy your
because
supplements for your boyfriend.
We're
Fuck
all
off, soy
being
boy.
snowed under with these influences from a very young age, so that it's your auto dependency basically starts to happen. It's very insanely difficult for people to get out of that if they've always been like that, like because you don't know anything else. That just having those stupid luxuries start to define you, to start to define how you think of yourself, your identity. And that's a problem. Because identity issues, like what, you're just gonna abandon your identity? No, you're gonna fight against that which makes you, which would risk you losing your identity. See, that's what people end up doing, a lot of them. But if you choose voluntarily, then you can unburden yourself in many ways.
I always knew he is the soy boy from the
And
Netherlands.
become a more of a free man, or one. But that also means, in a way, you're like on another level, and then people that haven't done that won't be able to really appreciate it, what you've done, and how good that is, because they will like scoff at it, or even call you ridiculous, or they'll just really realize how jealous they are that you're actually capable of doing that, and then act out. Right. Unless everybody does it. Yeah, but guess what? Would be a good, interesting, mission or quest to actually go through all of recorded history and figure out.
I need 1,000
with absolute
subscribers
certainty, and not
PayPal
through historical
refill.
forgery parts, where it's actually proven that that worked. Where everybody would all simultaneously decide to do that. Because those moments are extremely rare. And most societal revolutions are really just carried by a couple of really strong people that do that. And then everybody eventually like, hey, this is better. Oh, and then try to be part of that, and then choose to undo themselves of their technocratic burdens, basically. But they have to then have an example in order for that to basically get people into it. But to really initiate it, everybody simultaneously, it's just impossible. But if there's like people showing on how to do that, then that can really work. That can really motivate people comfortable of also doing that. Because they see like it actually can work, and then they can get a glimpse on the other side and find comfort and motivation in like, yeah, it's actually worth it. Because I can see what kind of is on the other side, and then you have a goal in mind that you could use through the transformation. And this is like why, for example, people like Owen Benjamin with his farming stuff and homesteading and music and all that stuff, why he's such a great example, because he's kind of doing that. He's being really self-reliant and communal, and like this is exactly what is. He's being exemplary in that. And that is really encouraging to a lot of people, and it's worked. Like with him locally, like there's so many people now in that movement, that in the Bertaria community, that actually come together with all the family. Like there's a lot of them. It's like that's really magical. It's really worked. And that's, I mean, he does have special talents for that. He has like a bard's charisma for real. So like I don't think I could ever do that. I mean, I have intellectual power. I can be kind of likable and all that, but I just don't have that kind of like group carrying capacity. Like I can barely socially function when I'm like in a group of more than 3 people. So yeah, I wouldn't be able to do that. But I can show the internal development though. I can show you that there is order inward. There is. It's just like your room or whatever. You just gotta clean it up. And then face that demon that's like, no, I don't want it. No, you just gotta freaking do it. And if you're lucky, then you're in a generation where your mother would actually make effort and explain to you why it's really necessary to clean your room when you were young. It's not everybody even has parents that teach their kids to do that. They just do it for them. They don't want to confront that demon. So they carry that demon the rest of their lives with them. You just gotta do it. Right, but I'm wandering off. Anyway, yeah, examples. Examples is what is needed to basically get the transformation going societally. Oh, Benjamin is doing good at that. I think I'm doing well to a degree. Although, again, it's not like I'm not social communal behavior based development. That's not what I'm about. I'm all about the insights and connections and providing people with an actual useful esoteric grasp of things that they can attain themselves, like I do. It's a system. You can take the system, you have to trust it, and it works, but you have to trust it. I copy things from people. People can copy the way that I do things from me and make it their own, and they'll have it in a slightly different way internally, because everybody does have things different, because you have different internal components to deal with, and you're not going to be exactly the same type of person as I am. So of course, if you do the same thing as I do, or partially do that kind of discipline, spiritual, then it will be different than the way I do it. Different conclusions, different development directions, perhaps even. Right? I mean, because it also, of course, depends on what are you doing outside of that, outside of your internal workings, right? Whatever jobs you have or professions, that is going to influence your internal world too. And it should. And you can like develop that further to even become better at your profession and have more stability internally and more purpose, right? Right. Anyway, I'm a bit rambly, but I think it's useful. That's a nice word. Right. So, titles now: free market self-reliance and specialism, and relinquishing the burden of technocratic luxury. Oh, this is weird, by the way, because you could also interpret this as being very fancy words for "you will own nothing and be happy." Well, that's not what I mean with it, though. Relinquishing the burden of technocratic luxury in favor of national unity, right? But I mean, that's actually the opposite of what WEF wants, because they think that we're gonna bury you under technocratic luxury, and that's all you have. If you relinquish the technocratic luxury, you will attain more national unity, and with the national unity, better connection and also access to all the specialisms of people. That's always like the advantage of having a community that you're very tight with. You gain access to everybody's specialty that you wouldn't have alone. Right? So yeah, good title today. Very pleased.
I'm delusional? Me? No.
I
Listen,
completely missed
both
Benjamin,
Jesus
by the way, yesterday.
and the striped unicorn in Dark World
It was very
told
late,
me it
and
was
then
all
when I
you guys.
wanted to tune in again, like, it was cut off.
I want more.
So
That
the stream
air.
might have like
Because my
been
show is
all
about nothing.
screen
Stop the
bleedy or
trolls.
whatever, and he just took it down. He hasn't re-uploaded it. No idea what that show was about, and I did not see a second of it live. Right, but I mean, when he does shows that late, it's actually really irritating to me. It's a terrible time. Really hope he's gonna get back to a standard time format. And if not, then not. I mean, I don't know, I can't even like chat there, so who cares? Right. Anyway, I hope everybody's appreciated the show today. My intro subject: social engineering and esoterica. Oh, I should add that too. But I mean, my freaking titles do get like too big though. I don't want to call it social engineering, but I'm going to call it societal engineering.
No, we do not appreciate your show. It's disgusting.
A vision of a better society. Really widely thought out and envisioned. Because that is what I have. It is what I'm working. I'm always trying to work on finding a way through. Not just for me, but for everybody. And there is no outcome in which everybody's going to be pleased, though. But there is potentially an outcome in which most people will be content. That's really the best you can hope for. Right? But if people do not have a vision of a way through, a way out, then they'll just be more likely to be delivered to their demons and become more of a burden to everybody else. People gotta have hope. Right, let's see. Anybody in here?
Come on, Arwen. Place your order for the next
Eli,
supplements
is
and your
there?
boyfriend. We are waiting. We know you have PayPal.
Looks like the regular guys are not in the chat. They've been chatting a lot, by the way. Like this, the Discord server is really hitting off. I didn't expect it to hit off that much. Because you gotta realize, guys, it's been sitting there for like 4 years. I at some point even thought like I'm just gonna like delete it. I'm so glad I didn't do that. It's amazing. Alright. And I'm very happy with having it.
Listen, Terry.
And I mean, it's always going to be
Cricket
like,
isn't
oh,
the only
nobody's
game played
there.
with balls.
And then
I
suddenly
play
I'm like,
underside
and then
cleaning.
everybody's there.
Great
like,
game.
What? Oh, okay.
I play
It's
with
always gonna
Owen.
be like that, and that's fine. And maybe in
Is
order
this
to
the guy
have
from the
more people
Netherlands
always
who is
be
way
around,
more stupid than Patrick the Sea
I would
Star?
have to get to know more people and take on a bigger group format, but that will also change the dynamics. The more people you have in the same group, the more chances of them engaging with some kind of bickering and divisions between principles, and then polarizing factions within the group. And that can be an issue. If you don't have too many people, just a couple of people, it's very unlikely that that will start to happen. The more people you got, the more chances that it will divide itself up in opposites, in factions with principles, and then people will be preoccupied with that, and that's kind of not what I want, because I'm always looking for dynamic, open possibility, right? I actually seek to
Yes,
break
this is the guy from the Netherlands,
through
and he is very stupid. His healer is a
polarized
fat cunt.
paradigms. To transcend false dichotomies. Oh, transcend false dichotomies. That is just a great saying. I want to put that in the title, but it doesn't fit. I'll save it for another time. But yeah, transcending false dichotomy is a great saying. Hope everybody's appreciating the show. Don't forget to Rogan's it up if you are. I've seen one Rogan. Glad somebody's liking it. This Tuesday.
Now I
don't
know
know
why
how long
we
I'm
are
gonna do
drilling
the show,
holes
but
in your
we'll
head.
see.
Try to make some sense and put some extra skis in that hole.
I'm good overall. Except for not having the sea moss. But yeah, I can live with it. When the indictment comes, Alex Jones wants all of your apologies. Pessimistic patriots. How dare you? That's cool. I mean, to address that shit, like, is Trump gonna do anything? I'm not super pessimistic. I'm just, like, I don't really care until it happens. Because it could absolutely be a trick. Right? Like, oh, Trump did.
I love more
if
sea moss.
somebody
Can someone
could
donate
basically
sea moss? to my
do a
PayPal
moon
account.
landing on it.
I need it
Oh,
now,
we're gonna do
or
it.
I will ban you.
We're gonna do it next year. Oh wait, it did turn out. Oh, we can't. Oh, it's gonna be in 5 years. We'll get to it then. And then 5 years later, like, yeah, we tried, but unfortunately I had some setbacks, so we're gonna have to postpone it another 2 years. But we got great new plans, and right, Trump could be doing
You
that
mean donate?
because he's a
was young.
freaking salesman.
That's the
People
liberal,
know
baby.
it.
I did it. I
And
met you, rap.
So
That's
he's,
the liberal,
he's
baby.
in
I
this
did it.
super position where you
I-
just can't know. Is he actually selling us out? Or is he actually trying to get there and it's just insanely difficult? And you just can't really truly tell. And so people just choose on what they believe. But nobody can truly tell. I think there's actually just something really dark about it. And I mean, Trump is suddenly getting heart problems. And it seems to be pretty severe from what I hear from people, and it's like even making general rounds on the internet and all that. So that would be a sign that he's actually done something really sinful. You can't choose evil and pretend to be good when you wield that much power. It's fatal.
I do not know what I'm talking about,
Not just for sin or death.
so I do expect that you
When get
understand
that much power
what I
going
am
through
talking
you,
about.
something like that will like literally just physically damage you. So it could end relatively soon, which is really tragic if that happens. And especially after that point, it's like, what is going to be?
I'm totally last. I do not know what the heck I'm talking about. It is still a very good show.
Occupy Wall Street times? Like, just default the dollar. Just reset. What would actually happen? Is it not just doable to do that? Instead of just like endlessly carrying over the pain more and more and more, and just like, what is the point of letting it keep going? living things until it's like everybody's dead. There's literally nobody left. And then it could default? Then it will default? Like, I don't understand the logic of that. Why not do it now? Because, I mean, the entire world, like, there will be certain unbalances coming from that, right? It's like, hey, but we had a lot of that, and now that's worthless. And we needed it for our financial stability. Well, if there is a defaulting of the dollar, like a fresh restart, there has to just be new negotiations on like what the previous debt meant, how much they really owe, and how much it was actually been scammed and all that, and it's quite a hassle. But like a new balance
Everyone
has
on
to be then
Discord
found
is
with the new
normal.
dollar, and I mean,
Finally, I
if
found
everybody
my
like
group
immediately
now.
tries to invest
I
in
can
it,
rest and stop streaming with a real job.
that would, in ways, bypass that problem logically. Everybody being dissatisfied is just like,
Someone is trying to call me all the time, so I have to mute and walk away? Who is doing that?
that would, in ways, bypass that problem logically. Everybody being dissatisfied is just like, yeah, we were holding on to this stuff, but it was getting kind of worthless anyway, and so we'll just invest in the new thing and then we're even. Right? Couldn't that just be done? Couldn't it just be like, okay, I'm just gonna turn it off and on again. Reboot, and like, okay, we're just gonna like clean up the mess and make new deals and like maybe go with the same thing, but at least restart at this point. Right? Is this really so unbelievably impossible? Because just letting it keep going, it just seems like insane. All it's doing is just taking away all meaning. It just seems like insane. All it's doing is just taking away all meaning. Oh, and it just seems like insane. All it's doing is just taking away all meaning. Now we're in. Hope everybody's appreciating the show. Don't forget to Rogan's it up if you are. I'm gonna take a minute break. I'll be right back. And I'm back. Getting wisdoms there. Ah. Somebody in the Rumble chat said it's impossible to take money with you. No, it's not. You just send it to my PayPal. It's very easy. You just send it, get it, thank you for it. Done. I just took it. Yeah, there will be no conditions. Not going to buy me out. Not going to get rights over my person or my material. Hey. Oh, awesome. Got a little PayPal from Mojo. That's awesome. Alright. That's nice. So see, it's not impossible to take money with me. I just took some. Alright, let's take a look around. Huh. Trump is firing a Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook. Biden appointed for mortgage fraud. Hilarious. So yeah, maybe Trump is gonna do something with it. Maybe it's gonna. That would be pretty amazing if Trump would actually like get control of the Federal Reserve and literally do a default, a reset. That would be amazing. Oh, it's the same? We can't take money with us when we die? Yeah, absolutely. It's just dirt to the spirit. Or dust. But you can take experiences with you and ideas and dreams, arguably. I don't know why. Yeah. the right thing and all that, then God's not going to destroy it. Social exploitation, victimhood economy. If you can get people hooked on an idea that they can use as an excuse not to give a shit, not to make an effort, then they will even pay you for it. It's victim economy. I mean, it's like the worst. It's worse than gangster rap. And it's new. It's like the pinnacle of technocratic culture, right? You got everything, but all you do is whine and bitch and make excuses as to why you're not actually doing anything. Why you're not being constructive anymore, right? Which is what supposedly, theoretically, all this stuff was for, is to give you more time and space so you could have more time to be creative. What are people doing with it? Wasting all of their time and being demotivated and depleted and complaining and looking for ideas to dwell upon so that they don't have to address that they're actually depressed. Great, right? Oh, but we got all the technology though. We got all, yeah, or we got all the damn technology and now nobody gives a shit about anything. Great. Was that really worth it? I mean, I'd rather go back to the 80s. Like, just give me back the cassette tapes as technology level. Just leave it there. Right? I think the world would probably be a better place. I mean, the internet would also be there, because the internet was already way older than that. Just like, leave it, kind of leave it there. I think it would do a lot of good if there was like less wireless radiation just being used everywhere all the time. I think it has probably a widespread influence on people's morale through the back door, through having an influence on their spirit. And like, it's really hard to tell because you just live in it. But I mean, people that like go out of the city life and just like literally go in the middle of nowhere with no phone and nothing, like really in the wilderness, like miles away from anything inhabited, then they really feel like this blanket just comes off and it's like, whoa, they feel more things. Because wireless radiation does have an influence, noticeably. It is a burden. And it is part of the burdens of it's the unseen burden of the technocracy, right? The technocratic luxuries. Living without that is actually like gives you more room to actually enjoy simpler things. Yeah, you can have all the technology, you have all the time in the world, but if you then are, because of those technologies, are incapable of just enjoying basic things, then why the hell did you do all that? What did you need that for? What do you need all the room for when you can't use the room anymore the way that you actually wanted to? Sounds like a Faustian deal to me. Like, the technocratic luxuries are a Faustian deal, right? You have all the time in the world, but you won't be able to enjoy it. Not for long. Right? You'll be able to communicate with everybody in the world, the internet. But they'll all be demonic. that starting to sound familiar? Yeah, technocratic luxuries are it. I'm gonna supplement the title some more. It's Faustian technocratic luxury. It is inherently Faustian. It is! I just discovered this. Technocratic luxury, bro. I'll just add the word spiritual with the national unity. Better symmetry, right? If you're gonna like trade a three-word thing, then you gotta trade it for a three-word thing. Just like linguistic symmetry is required. Alright, so what a title again today, right? Societal engineering, a free market of self-reliance and specialism, and relinquishing the burden of Faustian technocratic luxury in favor of spiritual national unity. An Arwinian title has completed. Guys, every day I praise God and I praise my own strength that I do not have a smartphone. Every day. It is like it was the most blatant Faustian device. I already engaged with the Faustian deal when I became addicted to like computer games when I was much younger. And used it to basically deflect away from the discomfort of trying to socialize with people of my age category, because it really sucked to me. Like, it was all just very painful, very incompatible, and I was just afraid they all just end up hating me because I would just like see straight through their flaws and they'd feel naked around me and just would start getting defensive because of that sensation. Like, that actually has happened a couple of times. Very hard for me to find a crowd where I could fit in. It never really succeeded. I mean, you could say the Gothics, but that's just because everybody hides in it under their creativity, under their identity creativity, and that just, so they don't really care if you're like crazy or extremely emotional or whatever, because they kind of expect that people are crazy because they are crazy, but then express it creatively. Oppositional defiance expressed creatively. That is kind of what Gothic really is underneath it all. It's a form of rebellion, but not through violence, but through creativity, artistry, music. So that was like the only group that I sort of had the sense that I fit in it exactly the way I was, but not really. And it has like undergone a lot of crap. Like it also has like basically spawned the modern SJW movement and shit. And that's more prevalent than actual Gothic. Like, a lot of the Gothic now just feels more like it's... what do you call that? Nostalgic oriented. Retro. And that's it. So it's just a thing in the retro, like one of the retro things, right? Just like, oh, 60s rock and roll, oh, 70s hippy dippy music, and like, what is it? 80s style early computer sound effects, right? And funk and all that. And then like the Gothic rock, Gothic metal, just metal scene, all that. Like, that's all like now kind of like categorized nostalgia. Because I mean, the modern music, I mean, is it even music anymore? It just seems like the rhythmic, robot rhythmics. This is robot produced music, and it's really just a bunch of indoctrinating rhythms and sound effects, and that's the music now, apparently. Ugh. I don't even feel like calling it music. It just doesn't appeal. Like, every time I hear something that's obviously modern out there, I'm like, there's just no more moments where I'm like, ooh, well, that's nice. No, it's all the same, oh, I'm so special, oh, robotically, it's like all AI generated, like all freaking music is now AI generated or something. It just seems like it. And if it isn't, then people are just doing it like they are AI generating it. It's ridiculous. Hey, dirty ketchup. Right, anyway. Moving from one subject into another. On a drift. But I mean, overall, I put down some pretty good subjects. Very societal engineering. It's like a societal engineering day, right? Some days it's like spirit mechanics. Other days it's like flat earth mechanics and physics. Other days, pure science fiction. And then it's like, oh, societal engineering. Specifically about that sort of thing. Behavioral groups, systems, societal stability. And then it's like, oh, government is terrible. This is what they do. How do we deal with this on the short run? And I figured that out. Yesterday was a day like that. So this is kind of like how I now just decide to do my shows. Like, these are the things that I dwell upon, and all of them have a use. Like, they're in development and they're useful and relevant for a lot of people, right? Just be glad I'm not just one of the other 100,000, 100 million people that are just, the liberals did it again. Although, I mean, some of those videos are kind of funny. Like, I still like watching Paul Joseph Watson just showing how ridiculous like certain feminists are out there, that they just keep going. They just keep being that ridiculous. And like, they don't even realize it. They don't realize how ridiculous they are for doing that. Right? But I don't want to be just another enabler that is going to be like, oh, look at the ridiculous liberals, look at these feminists. Because yeah, I mean, it does give people a bit of a giggle. But at the same time, you shouldn't really, because I mean, this is all just expression of mass hysteria. It is. It's mass hysteria. Mass, multiple, hysteria. They're literally being hysterical. Mass hysteria. It's what it is. That's what they are. Feminists, screeching hate expression therapy, they're mass hysterical. Like by the definition. That's what that is. Like, don't you recognize it for what it really is? And it's all an expression of just people taking on burdens that they shouldn't and breaking down under the weight of it and then just being broken and actually being a burden to everybody. It's mass hysteria. Like, they didn't have the good sense or the raising, the what do you call them? They didn't have the parents to really tell them, like, you shouldn't do this. You should keep it simple. Keep it safe. Don't get into these crazy things out there. I'm not talking about flat earth. I'm talking about like climate change obsession. All these things that are like really being exploited and all that by big companies, by mega corporations, mega corporation culture. Just like, don't get into that. They're getting into it and it'll just fuck them up. Because it's designed to fuck them up, and they are doing it thinking they're achieving something, and they're just letting these systems fuck them up. And then you achieve nothing. Absolutely nothing. Not any outcome that'll actually give you gratification later in life. You should keep it simple. Like, stay away from all that crap. Stay away from that indoctrination. It's not a group. It's not just because a lot of people are indoctrinated by it doesn't mean that it's actually a good opportunity to become part of that group with the shared programming, because you're then all sharing misery. It's like a hell. You're in hell together. Is that really something you want to go towards? I mean, once you're in it, right? But people should be warned about where that leads you before they get in it. Like, basically, like, when they're still teenagers, they should be like addressed about it. Like, do you know about these things? Like, that is actually, those people are really unhappy and they're not successful and they have ideas that are given to them that are actually not good for them. When you're young, you can still decide not to become that. That there is hope. Even when there's like tons and tons of incapable people that screech a lot out there, that doesn't mean that you're that. It just means a lot of people have been fooled into giving up, and now they're a burden instead of being an asset. And it doesn't mean that you also have to be that. You can be great. You can be an asset. You can have a great, meaningful social life and wealth. Like actual wealth through people, through good spirit, through a good family. And I mean, there's plenty of like young women that do understand this and that do try it. Glad I could help. I see. So easy. What? Tests over. Oh, okay. What? Taking tests? Why are you chatting on Discord or in Rumble? Shouldn't you be focusing on the test? Alright, anyway. when I was younger, and I had a lot of issues with society and socially and burdens from the world, like that I started to feel, like how messed up the world really is. My parents sent me to like a special type of like organic farmer that would be like, they would take on children and people with mental issues, like problems, not autistic people, but people that like had emotional issues specifically with the world and angry about the world, that sort of thing. And that they would like let them do chores and all that on their farm, and I did that, and it was great to me. Like that was really good for me that I went through that. I really missed it when that trajectory is over. I was like, I wish I could do this like every day, or like every few days. It was great. I think that would actually, if that could be thought of as a standard procedure for like any young teenager to work at a farm, also girls, that not just because they can learn to get in like a working rhythm and all that, but also because it's like healthy, and like doing those things are good. They're good things. They're good things that are not like gonna corrupt you. Like working on a farm will not corrupt you in any way. And it will do them good. Like it's better than just studying, only fucking studying, right? And like let the technocratic Faustian deal bullshit like indoctrinate in on you. Like that's all super burdensome, and it's not therapeutical, but you're expected to sort of do that because that's where everything is going, so you have to prepare for the working world like that. But sending them to a farm where they can just like do farm work instead as therapy, and maybe they'll like it so much, and I mean this is for real, they might like it so much at that age that they'll be like, Mom, Dad, fuck this school. There's no way I'm gonna do that. Like screw it, screw those people, screw that information. Like I don't even envision that being of any use whatsoever. I want to work at a farm. I want to keep doing it like this, and then actually build towards that. Or like, and on a farm, it's not just like only milking the cows or something and raking the stables, all that and that sort of thing, but also like work in a kitchen. Like there's always a lot of kitchen work at farms. And these things, like they're very therapeutical. They're actually very healthy for you. And in modern times, like farming actually is a lot more convenient. It's less brutal, and where it just takes forever and you just have to like never sit still. Like it's not necessarily like that anymore. Many farms that even are like old-fashioned are still kind of modernized in a simple way, not freaking Wi-Fi shit everywhere, right? But still enough to be just more efficient, and not just overly efficient where like it's just machines everywhere that you have to regulate because they do everything. I mean, that farm like that would suck. It would lose the meaning of farm work. There should be some basic tasks to keep it simple. You should be kept busy. It's like one of the great things about farms is that the keeping busy of it. And like people might actually be like, I want to do that. If you confront them young with it. If later in life it won't mean the same thing. It won't move in with their heart as much. They'll feel alienated if they haven't been exposed at all at a younger age. So I definitely recommend, like, let your kids in their late preteens or early teens, let them work on a farm if possible. Let them be a farmhand. Maybe as a career if they want that, or maybe just to experience it. Yeah, I gotta talk with the right farm guys, right, that have that to make that work. But I mean, I can really recommend that. It's done a lot of good for me. Helped me through some like really difficult times psychologically. To just be able to do that. There's like a physical energy that comes out of doing it that's really very useful when you're young. Very transformative. Right? And that's also why kids that actually grew up on a farm where there's no like abuse or anything, and usually there isn't, they're extremely stable. Because they are absorbing all that good energy, makes their spirit very stable, makes them very strong, not get angry very easily, that sort of thing. Like actually growing up on a farm your entire life usually makes most people that have that very stable. Do not underestimate that. But you don't get that if you later in life decide to become a farmer. That's why I definitely recommend expose your kids at a young age to farm work. Either professionally as a farmhand or more therapeutical. It will do them a lot of good. Really, really recommend it. It is like the best investment you could do for later. Because they'll be much less of a hassle after, when they get older. Right, anyway, there goes that recommendation. Another recommendation from Arwin on how to raise your kids. Always feels a bit weird because I don't have any kids. But if I did, this is what I would do with them. I hope everybody's having a great day out there. It's Tuesday. I'm getting hungry. If you're liking the show, don't forget to Rogans it up. I really hope you do. I do feel more inspired and stable recently. It's been a while since I've been like that. I hope that it can last even through the poorer times of the month, right? Because I'm afraid that will be back. Like, I'm not gonna pretend like it won't be back. It will. Just gotta be as careful as I possibly can. And arguably downsize my supplementation a bit. Which I am not looking forward to. But I mean, I'm already finding cheaper solutions. Like the whole fish oil. I got like a fish oil that's like way cheaper than the other one. It's probably slightly less of a quality, but I'm not sure. It might be... I'm not really feeling a difference. I'm not like, oh, this is polluted or anything. No, it seems to be just fine. Alright, but I gotta get cheaper, because otherwise it just makes me sorry that I had any of it. I don't get to eat. Right. And, well, of course, there will be potentially work, which I am working on. I got an appointment Monday, and yeah. I really do hope to be able to find some kind of a job in September, which is like more the month for it, because now it's still like the summer vacation time. A lot of big companies are closed. Right, but yeah, still opportunity to do good shows. I hope you all appreciate it out there. Don't forget to Rogans it up if you are. Ten watching. It's pretty astonishing how warm the wind is out there. It's arguably warmer outside than it is inside, even though there's no sun out. It's really weird. It's not what I'm used to. Anyway, hope everybody's having a great day out there. Should give my plants a little bit of water. Yeah, they definitely needed it. Oh, that's interesting. Did you catch up? Well, that's probably the reason why you have a soul. Just kidding. That's a bit exaggerated. But yeah, interesting to hear that you've had like your farming experience too. I too like milked cows, but I didn't really like it because it hurt my hands eventually. I mean, I could have like kept doing it and it'll probably given me very strong hands. But because of the strain of it, yeah, I didn't really like it. It's a bit much. But I mean, when I was younger, I was much more complaining about those types of things. But I'm still very happy I had that experience. What? Huh. That's weird. Last Sunday, apparently, just at the peak at the south, there was below 0 temperatures in the night. I didn't even know that. Apparently, it did get really cool one night, and that's unusual. Not global warming. Definitely not global warming. And she grew up shoveling crap. Yeah, I mean, I did that too. But I was into horseback riding. And yeah, shoveling stables was also a part of that. So I was doing that too. But horse stables. And I mean, the horseback riding was great. But I mean, it's expensive though. Can't even imagine how expensive that is now. Even back then, when I was doing it, it was basically for mostly girls that really wanted to do it from very wealthy families. That's who was there. And me. Guy from weird hippie family. You seen Slow-Mo? No, I haven't seen him around at all. He is on Discord, but I've like sent him a message here and there. He's not responding, so I don't know what he's up to. I hope he's still around. I mean, he was regularly having like serious medical operations, I think on his back or something. So, and he was moving, so he might just be really busy. I hope he's still crushing it, because he was crushing it mostly. But no, I have not heard from Slow-Mo Moonbuggy in a while. Keep forgetting that that's on screen. But yeah, I was really hoping to see him pop up again, as I have with a lot of other people, but yeah. Can't always expect them to keep coming back though, unfortunately. Anyway, I'm gonna take another 2-minute break and I'll be right back. I'm probably gonna round out the show. It's been good, it's been a good show. Anyway, I'll be back. I'm back. Farm facts. Usually out to pasture. Yeah, but not always though. They catch up. I mean, in the winter times, they're gonna be on the inside or they're gonna freeze. So I mean, it depends on where you are. Like if if you're in a warmer region, then yeah, they're probably always gonna be outside. If it gets cold in the winter, then you wanna have like a stable for them. Like a barn or something that they can stay on the inside. Anyway. Yeah, I'm getting hungry. Very hungry. So I'm gonna round out the show. Right. Thanks everyone for coming. I hope you liked this show. If you did, then please don't forget to Rogans it up. And if you haven't already, follow me here on Rumble and be here when I'm going live, which is normally 2 p.m. Amsterdam time every day. Oh, by the way, I really appreciate Dirty Ketchup if in the future you'll not use the Rumble chat but instead chat in the Discord. Then it gets on screen. Because now the only thing that people will get to notice is me reading the chat, but they don't get to see it. So please remember to do it in the Discord in the future. That would be great. I forgot to tell you too, but I mean, please do that next time. Right, anyway, was rounding out. Please also do support me through the PayPal, Patreon, Gifts and Go. Links are in the description box below. Send me a super chat over to Rumble Live Chat when the show is live, or subscribe to my channel. Support me that way. Any support would be greatly appreciated. Thanks for the mini PayPal. Mojo Gustavo, always great. Thank you for that. Right, I'll be back tomorrow with Flat Earth Early Bird number 2389 on a Wednesday. Hope to see you all then. Everybody have a great rest of the Tuesday. And yeah, until the next video, keep it flat.